Hi, I'm Ben Euerby, and I'm a film composer. I'm a member of the Kootenay screen-based industry workers. We had an old electric organ in my house, thankfully, that no one played except for me. And I started music as a writer. Those old electric organs used to have chords, so you could play different chords, and I wrote a song. And I just played that song. That was what I did. I had a music teacher who really inspired me. His name is Rick Lingard. He was a great music teacher at this high school I went to, Mount Sentinel. He sat me down in his office one day and he says, "You know, Ben, I really think you would make a good film composer." And I didn't really even consider it at that point. And when he said that, it was just like a light bulb went off in my head. I said, that's exactly what I want to do. It was just like, the stars aligned. And so that's how I ended up at Selka College eventually and studying there for 2 years. I moved to Vancouver and got myself involved in any film project that I could, essentially. Anything that was going on, I just was looking for directors to work with. I wasn't even concerned about money at that time or making money doing it. It was just like, I want to find directors and I want to just start doing this, right? And I met a guy named Erez Barzilai. He's Israeli and he drove through the Gaza Strip to document all of the refugee camps that were there. And so he literally went through every refugee camp and he had no motive going through these camps. He just went in and just documented what was there, and that was it. And I wrote the score for that. It affirmed that this is definitely what I want to be doing. I had a feeling that when I moved to the Kootenays that my whole film scoring career was just going to continue growing, even though I was moving to a smaller area. And it did. When I moved to the Kootenays, I just got in touch with all the directors in the area. So I got in touch with Jeremy Grant and started working with him a little bit on his projects. I got in touch with Amy Bohegan, Watershed Productions, and I started working with her. Amy and I have worked together since then, and she's been probably my most solid relationship in the area. She was always just stayed true to the idea that she wanted custom music. The first thing that I really love to do is just get into a conversation with the director and just start shooting ideas. And also it helps me get into the director's head a little bit too, because you know, it is a service industry, film composing, and so you're in service to the film, and you don't want to really let your own ideas get too much in the way of the director's overall vision. Then what I do is I go back to the studio and I start building my template for the score. And the template's just basically like all of my instruments that I potentially have. It's a palette, like it's like an artist who's going to paint a painting, right? They have all their colors that they want to use. They don't necessarily use all those colors, but they have them available if they want. Now that we've got all the ideas for the instruments and the genre, and I've got some themes worked out, and where is music going to go? Like, what's the role it's going to play in this film? And so you kind of sit down and figure that out. And then the director is giving me feedback on what they want, if they like it, if they want things changed. And sometimes it'll be like 2-3 revisions on these drafts until eventually you kind of get to something that you can all agree on, and then it's working. The Kootenays it's an interesting place because it's very open and warm and inviting, but at the same time, people really kind of like to go into their little hiding spots too, right? And people like that, and I'm like that. I like my little hiding spot too. But I'm kind of getting to the point where I want to connect more with people who are doing stuff in this area, just to more out of curiosity, but also just to establish, I guess, deeper connection and deeper relationships with like-minded people, and see what other people are working on in terms of their projects. Because I think that it can be a very isolating job. I can deal with the isolation, but I crave the connection now. I don't want to feel alone in it, you know? And so I think that the Kootenay screen-based industry workers is a great place to be able to connect with people and feel like you have a community. The biggest thing though for me is how important connection is. In a lot of ways, I think it's why people work in whatever field they work in, is so that they can connect with people and also contribute to that community too in some way. I also believe that music has a really important role to play in helping heal the world. But outside of the film world, it's also important for me to recognize the gift of music that I have and what I can give and how I can contribute to the world in a way just with my music, in terms of or helping people feel okay and peaceful and calm, and maybe be able to ride out storms too a little bit better too. And so I am working on an album right now, and it's going to be all geared towards songs that I feel are really going to aid in that, and maybe they are going to speak to people and help people just feel that sense of inner peace, that calmness, maybe help them quiet their minds down and really feel the essence of who they are, and hopefully live life from rooted in that essence. I'm pretty excited about it because I've never really released an album, but I feel so strongly about this one that I'm stepping kind of outside of my normal film scoring role and putting some energy into putting that together. So, yeah.